Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, to those that are tuned in for another live broadcast from the Duncan Showroom. Yes, this is where we have the opportunity to showcase to you Canadian talent, mostly, that we believe that you should hear. Music that deserves to be heard on radio stations, but you know the conglomerates don't see it that way. You might catch Lowry on CBC. I have at one time. I've also, sometimes on community radio, you might be able to get a chance to hear some of the people we send you. But then you have to listen to that 1 hour that they're doing it. And trust me, community radio, as nice as it is, the program before singer-songwriters is not usually the one I want to listen to. Or some of the shows they have early in the morning at 8 o'clock at Ottawa, Carleton University. My God, you don't want to. Who needs that to go to work in the morning, right? No kidding. But it's what it is, community radio. So we're another faction of community, but we're bringing you live performances. So as much as you would like anyone's CD and all the work and effort that they put into it and the production that goes in, that's beautiful because that's a masterpiece. But one of the things they do, they have to go out and reproduce that or get back to why they wrote those songs. Today, Lowry's going to have an opportunity to do that, to showcase some of the music he's done. He's got a little over an hour show that we're going to do for you. One of the things I would hope that you people that are watching would do would be to share it. If you like it, share it. If you don't like it, still share it. Because other people will. And it is Canadian talent. Anyway, Lowry Olafson is from Gibson's, of all places. A friend of mine, McCormick. Andy McCormick was just over there, him and his wife Bernadette. They got a camper, right? And they sold their house a couple years ago, and they've just been doing this camping. And he's also a musician, right? But they stopped off, and there's the iconic, there's the store right behind the picture. Molly's. Yeah, like everyone. I was like, I've been there, I stood there, I knew what it's all about. Totally. But they're not only famous just for that, they're also got some great performers that come out of there. I've had the opportunity to go there and bring some music over there. Lynn Miles I took over there a couple of times. Joe Hall, the great Joe Hall. That was, what a treat. Too bad that man went as fast as he did. Well, not fast. He was
so funny.
The guy had a way about him. Anyway, Lowry's one of those folk singer-songwriters that it's not assaultive. It's gentle. It soothes your soul. It's about hope. It's about better ways of doing things. The observations are about what can happen, not what has happened. It's about finding solutions, not about finding the problem. Well, the problem exists, but you got to look for the solutions. He's a good songwriter. I think you're going to enjoy him. So please, for those at home, and we got some live audience today too. That's always nice to have. Thanks for coming down. And if anybody's at home watching, if you ever want to come down to these Sunday afternoon matinees, please make sure you give it a try. But right now, here it is, Lowry Olafson.
Thanks, John. Clancy's got his duffel bag, a one-way fare to Dublin. He's had enough Chicago to last him for a while. That windy city blows too hard. Those brittle winters last too long. Clancy's coming home. Clancy's coming home now to see some friendly faces. He had enough of strangers who'd forgotten how to smile. Spring is coming soon. The grass will sing a sweeter tune. Clancy's coming home. He's coming home. He's coming home. Clancy's coming home. Clancy thought a new life would bring him something better. He'd get it all together, and all he had to do was go. But sometimes you just have to leave to see that there's no grass that's green. And no one loves you more than we do. Clancy's coming home. He's coming home. He's coming home. Clancy's coming home. Let's sing another chorus. Let's buy another round. It won't be long till Clancy's plane is touching down. He's coming home. He's coming home. He's coming home. Clancy's coming home. Sometimes you have to leave to see. There's no grass, it's quite as green. No one loves you more than we do. Clancy's coming home. He's coming home. He's coming home. Clancy's coming home. He's coming home. He's coming home. Clancy's coming home. Thank you very much. Our crowd of two people went wild. Kind of like that. So that's kind of a new song I'm doing right now. We're just recording my 10th album, and I have a lot of new songs because it's my first new album in 17 years. So I got a lot of stuff that I'm anxious to share, anxious for people to hear. This one. I'll do this one. I wrote this with a guy in New Orleans, a guy named Bart. What was Bart's last name? Oh, it's going to come to me. Bart Ramsey. And Bart plays piano at the Spotted Cat on French and Street. Every Thursday night he's been playing there for the last 14 years with probably different bands, but that's where I met him on a Thursday night there. And I was sitting outside, and the bands on, if you've been to New Orleans, the bands all kind of, a lot of them are in the windows of all these different venues because they're trying to draw people in. And just fabulous musicians. And I was sitting outside, and I had my guitar with me, and the band came out on their break, and we ended up passing the guitar around. And Bart in particular just had all these really great songs. So I asked him if he wanted to, I said, I'm here for a couple of weeks if you want to write a song. And so I went to his place, and this is the song we wrote. It's going to have trombones on it, trumpet, clarinet. It's going to have it all. You'll see why in a minute. Moonlight, jasmine in your hair shone lily white. Midnight, magic in the air on a summer night. You stepped into the scene, an impossible dream. You swept me away. I would have told you right then. It was on the tip of my tongue. But words only get in the way. Songs can do the talking when there's so much to say. Most nights I just stayed there hidden, sitting in the dark. Not this time, wasn't going to miss it. I could feel the sparks. I walked out onto the floor, I couldn't wait anymore. And when I asked you to dance, was it the song that the band played? Made you give me a hand. Hey, those words only get in the way. Songs can do the talking when there's so much to say. Soft trombones and clarinets whisper things we never said. Cross your mind, nights like this never leave your lips. Hey, do ba 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 da dee dee ba 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 do do. Words only get in the way. Songs can do the talking. Songs can do the talking. Songs can do the talking when there's so much to say. So much talking. There's so much to say. Thank you. I think that'd be, if anybody knows Michael Bublé, I think that'd be a good song for him to cut. You could just make sure he hears that. This is a song I dreamt in 2014. Came to me in a dream. In the middle of the night, I was in Naramata, back in the days when I used to write songs with school kids, and they put me up for the night in this in a winery. Naramata, like a carriage house. There was like an apartment above this winery. I don't know if that played a role in why this song came floating in, but I had this dream that I was on this long rope, kind of sliding down this long rope, and in the dark, and there was a man, like this old guru kind of long hair, looked maybe a bit like Long John, and he had this big book, a huge antique kind of, tome or whatever those are called. And it had the words to this song, and the song was playing as I was descending down this, just kind of into a spotlight. It was amazing, sitting at this guy's feet. And so I just got up and I just tried to record as much of the song as I could. And I've been working on trying to finish it ever since. And now it's finally done. Lost my way on a lonely road where the gravel ends. No one goes. I thought I'd find my way back home, but I lost it. I lost my way in another life. I lost my chance to get it right. You walked out into the night, and I lost it. Felt so perfect the way we flew, just you and me and you. Wings are hard to hold on to. Slip right through. And out there on that rocky ledge, I lost my nerve, lost my edge. I don't care what anyone says, I lost it. What do you got left when you lose someone who you wished could always be the one? You can't get back to where you started from. You lost it. Felt so perfect the way we flew, just you and me and you. But wings are hard to hold on to. You slip right through. Deserted shore, still trying to find what I had before I lost it. Yeah, I lost it. Thank you. So this is a song I like to go away in the winter. I like to much as I love the cold and dark and rain and stuff that we get here on the West Coast. The short days, I don't like that. Anybody else doesn't like that? So I've been going away in the winters. I rent my place out and then I go. Last year I spent 3 months in Sri Lanka, and that was fun. It's learning to surf. So I had a place on the beach, and every night I would sit on the beach and I would play guitar at sunset, and I started running out of songs to play, and I thought I remembered this one that I started years and years ago, and it started off kind of like this sort of very kind of mysterious, deep in the winter when the snow is falling, kind of like that. It had that kind of thing. And then I took a trip up north to BC. We don't have any trains where I live on the Sunshine Coast. It's kind of an island, so it's not really an island, but it feels like one, because you have to take a ferry to get there. And so we're used to like foghorns, maybe the ferries horn sometimes, but not trains. And I took a trip up north, and there where they had this train track, 2 tracks going all night long. And the next morning I started playing the song, and it had turned into a train song at that point. And in Sri Lanka, which was largely a British colony, the one I'm sure the Brits did plenty of damage in the years they were there, but the one thing that remains and is kind of a gift to the country is the trains, which are pretty amazing and are very well used. So this is a train song. She loves the rhythm of the click and clack. It's time to climb aboard. She'll leave her troubles behind. She don't need them no more. She'll just surrender to the rocking motion, the diesel engine whine. How she's feeling, it's already better than fine. Yeah, the wheels on the steel make her feel like she's coming alive. She gets lost in the cry of the locomotive rolling down the railway line. Coming alive, coming alive. I don't know where she got this fascination, this crazy thing for trains. But every time that she's with me, I feel the same. Hey, hey. Yeah, the wheels on the steel make me feel like I'm coming alive. I get lost in the cry of the locomotive rolling down the railway line. Hey, you can stand there in the station, you can give that girl a miss, but I can guarantee there's nothing else feels anything like this. Wheels on steel make you feel like you're coming alive. You get lost in the cry of the locomotive rolling down That's a fun song to play. So this one here. This is another one I wrote in a warm climate in the winter. In Bali, if you can imagine that. We went to Bali in the rainy season, and it rains. You know, you get those tropical rains that are just like a deluge kind of thing. And one night we came in from being out somewhere, I guess, and we had to kind of run in the rain, and we got into our place, and we had this really kind of cool villa that had high stone walls and a beautiful garden and everything, and the kitchen area is outside, so it's covered, and you do most of your living outside, except for the bedroom, which is enclosed, I guess, because it keeps the mosquitoes out. But anyway, all of a sudden, the next door neighbor, their alarm started going off. It was like, I don't know, it was like a vehicle alarm or something, and then it stopped, and then it would start again. It was really loud, and I was getting pissed off, and I phoned a landlady who lived on the other side of our house, in the other half of the house, and I told her what was going on. She said, "Oh, I'll look into it." And she phoned back 5 minutes later, and she said, "That's the frogs." Yeah, that's the frogs. Yeah, and so and that was their mating call, and so it wasn't gonna. That wasn't about to change, but also it was kind of funny because then I thought I didn't mind anymore because then it's the frogs. Well, that's pretty cool. So anyway, so this song's kind of starts off set in a storm. Got any delay on that, Ted? No. If you can, tiny bit. Sorry to catch you on the fly. It's the height of the heat, 104, lightning strikes, thunder roars. Let's grab our stuff and run. There's no time to lose. Black clouds rising in the sky, coconut trees sway side to side. It's electric in the air whenever I'm with you. You hit me like a thunderbolt, like a million volts. But I know I'm my hot. I like the taste of everything you got. I kinda like it, I kinda like it a lot. You came out of nowhere, caught me by surprise. You held me in your power, no use in even trying. Just one look was all it took, and everything went flying. You were a force of nature, you were electrifying. You hit me like a thunderbolt, like a million volts. Every time I like the taste of everything you got. I kinda like it, kinda like it a lot. Kinda like it when I lose control, the way it hits me like thunderbolts. Kinda like it a lot. It's burning in my body, never felt kinda like it when I lose control. The way it hits me like a thunderbolt. Kinda like it, kinda like it, kinda like it. I kinda like it a lot. Thanks. Good work, man. On the fly. I kind of figure, that chorus is kind of like this sort of head-banging kind of, pop thing. It's supposed to have this transformation from this mysterious kind of thing to that. I kind of like it, bubble gum. So we're having fun recording that one. Having a lot of fun, actually, recording this album. It's produced by Jim Woodyard at Creation Studios in Burnaby, and that studio is it's been around 50 years more. A lot of different owners, and there's all these 2-inch tape machines still in there and all kinds of stuff, and it's just an old Sony board, everything, a lot of old stuff in there, and recording on Radar, which is a dedicated hard disk recording system that was designed, built in Vancouver. Daniel Lanois uses it. It's just the best sounding gear you could ever want to hear. So I feel very lucky to be able to record there and to work with Jim Woodyard. He's just amazing, and fabulous players. Got Miles Hill on bass and Phil Robertson on drums, and we'll have Tom Keenlyside playing clarinet. Well, I haven't called him yet, so this might be news to him, but he'll be our man. And yeah, it was just super cool to be bringing these songs finally to the world. What else do I know? Okay, here's a song about a kind of you could say a preposterous situation. A woman who the concept behind this is it's about a woman, kind of a highfalutin woman who falls for a busker. You know what a busker is? Like a street musician, and it seemed like kind of an unlikely idea for a song. But I was playing up in Smithers, I don't know, ages ago, and I played this song, and somebody said, I know a couple this is their story. She's a professor. She goes off every day and professes, and he is a busker, and he goes off and busks, and they've been happily married for many years, and there you go. So I thought, okay, well, here you go. But I think in this song, the jury might still be out whether these guys live happily ever after or not, but we'll see. Never paid him any mind, though he'd try to catch her eye, play a song to make her smile. But every day she'd hurry by, clutch her coffee, look away, like he wasn't even there. And she wasn't easy to convince. She had plans for better things, a playwright or a prince. She'd pass him on the street, standing there for all to hear, singing out so clear. And he'd sing, baby, it's you, baby, it's me. What if it's true? Love is all that you need, baby, it's us. What if love's enough? Well, he had those eyes that wouldn't quit, look so deep and drink you in. One day she kind of dropped her guard. He danced into her heart, and she confided to her friends, always stay with him a while. And he'd sing, baby, it's you, baby, it's me. And what if it's true? Love is all that we need, baby, it's us. what if love's enough? The best laid plans won't ever be any more than that. Why would you spend your life chasing after things that you've already got? Hey, baby, it's you. Baby, it's me. And what if it's true? Love is all that you need. Baby, it's us. What if love's enough? Oh, baby, it's you. Baby, it's me. What if it's true? Love is all that you love is all you need. What if love's enough? Thank you. Oh, this is kind of a fun song, this next one. I wrote it with my friend Carl McHugh. I was up visiting my daughter, and she's a helicopter pilot up in northern British Columbia. And she and this other, they're both just these two young women, they're in their early 20s, and they had to have a meeting with their boss on the phone. And I guess it could be a bit of a hard-nosed guy sometimes. And so I went outside, and when I came back in, I said, how'd the meeting go? And her friend says, I think he's going to have to drink about it. And I said, that's pretty funny, drink about it. I said, is that like a song or something? And she said, I don't think so. I said, well, is it like a saying? And she said, well, I don't think so. She said, I think I just kind of, said that. And I said, well, I'm totally going to write that song. And so I started in on it, and then I thought this would be a really fun one to write with my Irish friend, Carl McHugh. So we spent a bit of time on the phone and finished this one off, or maybe it was on Zoom. But anyway, I'm looking for some country artist to sing this, to cut this song for me. Somebody that can laugh at themselves a little bit, tongue-in-cheek maybe. My girlfriend doesn't like my friends with beer and cigarettes. She thinks I watch too much hockey, and she probably knows best. She thinks I could do better if I got off of the couch. I aimed a bit higher. I got out of the house, but I need some time to drink about it. I think better when I've had a few. I need some time to drink about it. Johnny Walker always knows what to do. Maybe I should be a lawyer. It doesn't look too hard. I can't count how many times I've been admitted to the bar. Maybe a psychiatrist. Hey, that could be nice. They tell me their problems, and I'd set them right. But I'd need some time, everybody now, to drink about it. I think better when I've had a few. I need some time to drink about it. Hey, Johnny Walker always knows what to do. Hey, I could make a plan, write it on my hand, make sure I don't forget. Hey, but to get shit done, I'll need an ice cold one, so I can't start just yet. think better when I've had a few. I need some time to drink about it. Johnny Walker always knows what to do. Yeah, Johnny Walker always knows what to do. There you go. Yeah, it'd be fun. You know, does anybody know Garth Brooks or what's that Canadian guy, Paul Brandt? Maybe he'd do it, you know? If you know them, you can send them that song, okay? I think I'm going to play. I'll just give me a second here and we'll retune. Do a couple things in open tunings here. This is a song. Play this one. I wrote this with my friend Lisa Ashman, and Lisa's an amazing woman. She's a physicist, and she taught for 20 years at the University of Santa Cruz, and then she decided she'd had enough of that, and she needed a change, and so she moved to Nashville, became a songwriter. She's been writing songs ever since. She's written more songs literally than anyone in the world, as far as I know. The last time I saw her, she had written 12,000 songs. And she said, my hero had written 8,000, but I passed him a long time ago, and I don't know of anybody that's written more. And she's had some cuts with Art Garfunkel, one that she wrote called I Love the Rain. She wrote with Tom Kimmel. And they had a cut with Chicago. Recently, she's had lots of songs in TV shows and stuff like that. And she and I have written maybe 35 songs, she and I. And she's got us a couple of cuts. This isn't one of them. This is one. This one I'd love to get cut by some kind of a bluegrass band. The one cut Lisa did get us was this really fantastic group called ASV. They weren't well known, but Scott Vestal, the banjo player there in Alabama or somewhere, and Alice, his wife, and Scott Vestal. Scott was like the 8-time bluegrass banjo champion. 8 years in a row, fantastic. And this band did her like a real new age kind of, not new age, but new. What do they call it for bluegrass? New, anyway, edgy kind of version of one of our songs. This one would be great, but it probably should be sung by a man, and Alice does their singing. So, but this is the story of Annabelle, and it's the story of a guy writing a letter home to Annabelle, and it's set in the Civil War, in the American Civil War. And back in those days when they wanted guys to join the army, they didn't have any fancy marketing campaigns or anything like that. They just would have what they called a press gang, which was a posse of armed men, and they would come up to the farmer in the field at gunpoint and say, "You're in the army now, man." And so this guy's writing a letter home to Annabelle. Tell her where he is. Annabelle, my precious one, I am writing to you much in haste. Press gang came, look what they've done. They gave me this uniform, gave me this gun. They gave me these boots and told me, son, don't you try to run. Annabelle, I love you so. You know that I'm a man of peace. If I were free, I would never leave, never fight, and I would never be in shells and blood and mud up to my knees. If it were up to me, before they break your heart in pieces and say how proud I felt, know that I have always loved you more than life itself. Annabelle, one thing more, I'd give anything to stop this war. That's a long way off, no, it's true. And if a soldier's faith in God is any use, I'll hold on to that to pull me through. My love for you, before they break your heart in pieces and say how proud I felt, know that I have always loved you more than life itself. Annabelle, before they break your heart in pieces, and if this is farewell, know that I have always loved you more than life itself. Annabelle, always gets me that little riff. Fun song to play though. And while I'm in that tuning, play you this one too. Boy, what a great sounding room. This is the first time I played at the Duncan Showroom. It sounds super great, Ted. Thank you. You're doing a great job on the sound. And that was a sweet introduction from Long John. I was curious to hear what he was going to say about my music, because you never know what people think, but I like the idea that it's uplifting in that way and heart-opening kind of music. That's what I like. So a lot of these songs are kind of anthems to myself. You know, you write the songs a lot of times for yourself, and you hope that other people will that they will be of service to other people too. This one's kind of like that. And I recorded this one at a Lethe Lounge studio. A friend of mine has a studio in New York City, and my daughter and I went there for a week and stayed there and hung out in the city, and I recorded a couple of songs, and this is one of them. Used to be such a sorry guy. I'm gonna try that again. Used to be such a sorry guy. Nose pressed to that grinding stone. Thought the way to get ahead was to work my fingers to the bone. Used to wear a heavy frown, shoulders was cast down. Walk that way all over town. That's who I used to be. Now all I do is sing, and all I do is dance. Hey, 'cause here's the thing, you don't get a second chance. So all I do is love you, and let whatever rings true find a little breathing room. That's what I'm gonna do. Used to be so serious, convinced that I was not enough. I had to lose it all just to figure it out. Finally see the light. Now all I do is sing, and all I do is dance. Hey, 'cause here's the thing, you don't get a second chance. All I do is love you, and let whatever rings true find a little breathing room. That's what I'm gonna do. Well, the road that leads you home begins inside your heart. Loving who you are, that's where it starts. You don't get a second chance. Hey, I'm just gonna love you, and let whatever rings true find a little breathing room. And that's what I'm gonna do. Hey, hey, yeah. Thanks. Fun one to play, that one. Thanks. Thanks, Richard. I got Richard here. He designed my T-shirts. My Born for This Impossible is Nothing T-shirts. Did a great job. Yeah, I'll explain that to you later when I play the song that goes with those shirts. But this is a song I wrote in Singapore. I do a lot of name dropping because I don't know a lot of famous people, but I do a lot of place dropping because I've been a lot of places. And I lived for quite a few years in Western Australia, way back in my 20s, and in Perth. Well, I lived. You lived where? Mundaring? Mandurah. I don't. Oh, Oh, cool. Okay, I lived in like Fremantle, White Gum Valley, Subiaco, Cottesloe, North Perth. I lived in like 12 places, and I was only there for 4 years. Oh, cool. That's great. Well, they had a music scene. What years were you there? Okay. All right. Well, I was there way back. I'm much older than you. I'll be 72 next month. So I was there in 1978 to 82, way back, and it was such an amazing music scene in Perth. And for me, it just, I was 24 years old when I came, and I just had so many opportunities to play. The thing about Perth is it's kind of like so isolated. I think the closest town is Cape Town. It's probably closer to Cape Town than it is to Adelaide, and a huge desert in between. maybe that's not quite accurate. Maybe Adelaide's closer, but anyway, it was very self-contained in its music scene, and the bands would play in the hotels, and like super well, people went out to the gigs, but the band would move every night. Like here in Canada, a band plays for a week, in a hotel, in a bar, and they move. But there, the band would move like every night with all their gear. It was ridiculous, but everybody did it, but I played in a lot of. It was great for a singer-songwriter, but I also played in like some traditional, more traditional British kind of gigs, and some really out there kind of. I was in a kind of a new wave. That was when the new wave thing was happening, and synthesizers were just coming in, and we had a band called the C90s, which is we thought was very progressive. A C90 was a cassette, so that was like, and we were doing all these science fiction songs and all kinds of stuff. But so Perth was very left a big impression on me, and I might go back. I might even be able to get there this year. I'm hoping. But anyway, I wrote this song. I've got friends in Singapore. The reason I'm in Perth actually was this photographer friend of mine that I met in Bali in 1978, and he had just come from living in Perth, and he said, "You really should go check out Perth, guys. It's it's pretty great." So I was planning to go for 3 days, and I didn't leave for 4 years. Yeah. But anyway, but I would always go and visit. He was a photographer, and he became quite successful. Do National Geographic stuff and lots of stuff. And so I would always stop and visit him and his wife in Singapore on my way through, and I'd hang out at this place, and this is a song I wrote at their house. And their son Christopher was like 7 years old when I was there visiting, and I hadn't written a song in an open tuning before. This was 1995, and I was just kind of noodling, playing the same thing over and over again. And the second day of that, I said to Christopher, "Are you getting sick of this song?" And he says, "Are you?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I am, but I feel like I should stick with it, And he says, "Me too." So we did. We stuck with it, and the next day it was done. He says, "I think you're going to make a lot of money with this song." So we're waiting for that. But this is on my third album, Back Again album. The last time that I saw you, we could see the Southern Cross, Orion hanging upside down, but now all that is lost. And here from where I'm standing, I can see the Northern Star, and all the constellations are where they always were. And here on the planet Earth, I'll get my feet back on the ground, 1 foot in front of the other, as I'm moving around. And knowing that you love me is like a blanket in the cold, that you drape across my shoulders and you wrap around my soul. When we stared up to the heavens and that star came shooting down, I should have wished right then and there I could have you for all time. But there's no point in wishing for something that cannot be, so I was just content to have you there with me. Here on the planet Earth, I'll get my feet back on the ground, 1 foot in front of the other, as I'm moving around, knowing that I love you you drape across your shoulders and you wrap around your soul. Like wanderers in ancient times, gazing at the skies, we lay against a eucalypt and watch the moon rise. And there's not much consolation, at least not that I can see, except to pray someday the stars align and bring it back to me. Here on the planet Earth, I'll get my feet back on the ground, 1 foot in front of the other as I'm moving around. And when somebody loves you, it's like a blanket in the cold that you drape across your shoulders and you wrap around your soul. Around your soul, around your soul. Thank you. Yeah, I still love playing that song. I'm going to play this one. This next one's the title song from the new album. And I wrote it on one of my warm holidays down in Costa Rica 2 winters ago. And they have this, a lot of butterflies, and there's this amazing butterfly migration, which I had just heard about when I was down there. And somebody, last night I was playing in Ladysmith, and they told me, I kind of got clarified on how this migration works. The monarch butterflies, I thought they flew, how I understood it was, I thought they flew from the Sierra Madres in Mexico up to Quebec, in a year, and then they came back the following year, their migration. But what somebody told me last night was that they come back in a year, but going up, they do it in like stages. They go part way, and then they die in there, and they lay their eggs, and then their offspring does the next leg, and then they die, and they do it in like 4 legs on the way up, and then the one coming back does it in 1 leg. And I gathered that they don't fly it. It's they ride the wind. And anyway, this is the only song I've ever used had to rhyme the word metamorphosis. And the song's called Born for This. And interestingly, I didn't even realize I was coming back from the beach on my bicycle one day, and I thought, oh my heavens, that Born for This rhymes with metamorphosis. I thought it was kind of a big deal getting that word in the song, and then I didn't realize where Born for This had come from. So, these things are, a lot of subliminal stuff goes on. But this will be the title song from the album. We shot a really beautiful video. I met this German guy named Cleophas Jankar. He hung out at the surf club where I was learning to surf, and he was shooting. He has a thing called a kendama, which is this Japanese kind of a wooden toy. It's like a handle with a spike on it, and a ball that has a hole in it. It's on balls on a string, and you spin it, and you get the ball up in the air, and you try and spike it. And it has cups, so you can try and land it on these cups and stuff. But he's so advanced, and there's a whole culture in Japan and around the world around these things. Check them out. They're called a kendama, Kendama. And he is like such a virtuoso on this thing. He's like flipping it and juggling and doing all this stuff, and then all these spins, unbelievable. And he posts them on Instagram all the day. So he was videoing these things all the time. He'd have his little GoPro video his tricks, and I knew he had a drone. So I said, I just wrote this song, and I want to shoot a video. Do you want to do it? And he said, sure. And I know a really great beach that nobody knows about. And so we went to this beach that was, a little bit remote, and had to hike into it. And he had his drone. He shot the most beautiful coastline, Costa Rica, just fantastic. It's got monkeys in it and a hermit crab and butterflies and a surfer. It's really, so check it out on YouTube, Born for This. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right, I play it up here. A butterfly will ride the wind from Canada to Mexico, lifted by the currents in the air. On tiny wings she'll find the twig of her own metamorphosis, with nothing but the sky to guide her there. When you're born for this, born to go the distance, nothing is impossible. Impossible is nothing. When you're born for this, nothing is impossible. Impossible is nothing at all. My father wasn't one to sit and talk about his troubles. He knew that that will never set you free. And he taught me not to shy away from risking who I was for everything that I was born to be. Said when you're born for this, born to go the distance, nothing is impossible. Impossible is nothing. When you're born for this, nothing is impossible. Impossible is nothing at all. And if I fall a little short, living his example, I tumble to the ground when I try to spread my wings. Dad would be the first to dust me off and wet my thirst till I could catch the wind again. Hey, you can sing it. Hey, when you're born for this, born to go the distance, nothing is impossible. Impossible is nothing. When you're born for this, nothing is impossible. Impossible is nothing at all. 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 When you're born for this. When you're born for this. Thank you. So I'll just do a couple more, and this one, after we shot that video, I took Cleophas out for a banana split. And a banana split is something, you'll understand when you listen to this song why the significance of a banana split for me, but I'll just tell you anyway. When I was a kid, after church, we would go to Dairy Queen and we would get a dilly bar. We would get a paper bag full of dilly bars. Anybody remember those? Yeah, 10 cents for a dilly bar, right? But which was nice, except I wanted a banana split, and I never got one. That was just not in the cards. So when I was in Costa Rica, I thought I went by this place that's got banana splits, and I'm thinking I'm on a budget, I'm traveling, and I thought, I said, I should get a banana split, and it's like, they're $10. So, I'm not going to get one. And I thought, how stupid is that? For $10, I'm not going to get one. So I had one, and then I wrote this song, and which is about. The song is really just about kind of, saying yes to the stuff that you want, right? Anyway, so you'll get the picture. But it was super fun to take Cleophas out for a banana split after this one. How does this go? I stopped in for an ice cream, a wallet looking thin. It felt a little dangerous, but I did it all the same. I said yes to the chocolate syrup. I said yes to the whipping cream. I said yes to the maraschino. I said yes to everything. Our sweetness, we all need this. It doesn't take that much to throw a party on your tongue. Hey, now, sweetness, here's a little secret. Mightn't cost a lot to say yes to what you want. Isn't that sweet? We go for ice cream cones on Sunday after church when we were kids. I didn't mean to be ungrateful, but I long for a banana split. I would have said yes to the chocolate syrup. I would have said yes to the whipping cream. I would have said yes to the maraschino. I would have said yes to everything. And sweetness, we all need this. It doesn't take that much to throw a party on your tongue. Hey, now, sweetness, now here's a little secret. It mightn't cost a lot to say yes to what you want. Isn't that sweet? It mightn't cost a lot to say yes to what you want. Isn't that sweet? Okay, I'm going to leave you with this one. Thanks again for great sound, Ted. Thanks, Long John, for having me. Thanks for the folks that showed up, and it's going to be some great Romanian fiddle playing tonight. So if people are looking for something to do on Sunday night in Duncan, you might want to come down to the Duncan Showroom. And this is a song about a stallion named Paisan. And all it took to keep Paisan in his pasture, in captivity, was an electric wire that came up to his knee, literally 18 inches off the ground. I was living on a farm in the Hazelmere Valley, just east of White Rock, and that's where Paisan was. And I just thought this was so ironic that this mighty beast could have just so easily jumped over this wire, but he touched it. When they first put him in there, he got a little shock and kept him there for the rest of his life. A great metaphor for us, maybe sometimes, eh? So anyway, thanks you guys so much for listening. My name is Lowry Olafson, based on the Sunshine Coast. I got lots of music at my website, LowryOlafson.com. And I'm looking to do lots of house concerts that are close by. I got my Royal Enfield motorcycle, and I got everything. I can carry my PA and everything on I call it the Royal Enfield Born for This road show. And came here on my motorcycle yesterday, and did a show last night, but everything. It's pretty cool. I love it, and so I like doing intimate shows, small groups. So if you're interested in hosting one of those, give me a shout out. And if you want to support my next album, my new album, I'm pre-selling digital copies of the album for $25, and that's how I'm financing it. I need 600 more people to buy it, so it's getting there. I think we're at like 20% of the goal. So you can check that out at my website too. And so I'll leave you this song called One Thin Wire. I've seen that horse jump higher when he's prancing that young filly round the arch. So how could one thin wire with 2 feet off the ground be so hard? But it shocked his leg like lightning once. He bolted halfway back to the other side. Touched it a few times more like that, and now he doesn't even try. At all the pastures he could roam, if he only knew just how frail these fences are to tell him what he can do. Now that stallion's independent, no saddle ever sat upon his back. So how could one thin wire be enough to stop him in his tracks? He'll run his life in circles till the urge for wandering ceased. But to step over the wire is too large a leap for his mind at least. And all the pastures he could roam, hey, if he only knew how frail these fences are. Tell him what he can and cannot do. Oh, what he can and cannot do. What he can, what he can, what he can and cannot do. These fields that run unbridled for as far as the eye can see. Not for that thin wire, oh, well, that's where that horse would be. Grassy plains can taunt us, and if not for fences made of fear, that still haunt us, we'd hightail it right out of here. And all the pastures we could roam, hey, if we only knew just how frail these fences are. Tell us what we can and cannot do. Oh, what we can and cannot do. What we can, what we can, what we can and cannot. Just how frail these These fences are. They tell us what we can and cannot do. Thank you so much. Thanks, you guys. All right. Thank you.